Antassa tasmin salila Aste ananta shano harihi Yoga-Nidra nimilakshaha Stuyamano janalaihi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: The Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, lies down in the water on the seat of Ananta with his eyes closed, and the inhabitants of the Janaloka planets offer their glorious prayers unto the Lord with folded hands. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. We should not understand the sleeping condition of the Lord to be the same as our sleep. Here the word Yoga-Nidra is specifically mentioned, which indicates that the Lord's sleeping condition is also a manifestation of His internal potency. Whenever the word yoga is used, it should be understood to refer to that which is transcendental. In the transcendental stage, all activities are always present and are glorified by prayers of great sages like Bhrigu. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta purport. So in the last couple of shlokas, we have seen how the night of Brahma sets in and then how the devastation takes place. It was mentioned how there will be fire for 100 years and then there will be torrents of rains for equal number of years, and there will be a huge body of water in the three planetary systems below, Brahmaloka, Janaloka. And then we also came to know that Bhrigu Adaya, Ardhita, they all left their planet Maharloka and traveled to Janaloka. So after reaching there, what did they do? Antassa tasmin salila, in those waters, the universal, almost is a partial devastation. So in those waters, of course in the Garbhodaka ocean, they saw Aste anantasano hari, seated. Asana means seat. So Ananta Asana. And this is one of the services of Ananta Shesha, that he acts as a seat for the Supreme Lord. Anantasano Hari. And then what is the Lord's activity? Is Yoga-Nidra. Nimilakshaha. He closed his eyes and he is in a state called Yoga-Nidra. Stuyamano janalaye. And he has been glorified by prayers from the Janaloka planets with folded hands. So the whole universe is in a turmoil. And even in this scene of devastation, we can see the Lord's pastimes continue. When the whole devastation is going on, the Lord is right in those waters, is seated on, is actually in a sleeping position, Anantashano Hari, Yoga-Nidra. So the Lord's sleep is called here as Yoga-Nidra. It is not like our Nidra. When we sleep, we don't know what's happening all around us. Even if somebody glorifies us, we don't know. But Lord's sleep is not like that. He is in Yoga-Nidra. He is fully conscious always. A pure devotee is also not affected by sleep. He is fully conscious of Krishna in all the three states of existence. So similar, if that is the case with a pure devotee, now what to talk about Krishna or Hari is always conscious. Although he appears to be in a sleeping position. Yoga-Nidra Nimilaksha. Closed his eyes. So recently there was an article. The many scientists who are researching on the oceans. They mentioned that about 56% of the ocean, the color of the ocean water has changed in the last 20 years. The many groups of scientists are working on what changes are coming up in this world. So this group has figured out that in the last 20 years, the color of ocean water has changed. We all know ocean water looks bluish. Now it has changed into green. And this change of color to green affects the life inside the ocean. The fish and various other life forms which are there inside the ocean, they all get affected. So they are all worried. What is the impact of this change? And they are all saying this is because what is known as climate change. Actually, as devotees, we should also understand what is this climate change. The scientists are saying that the planet Earth is becoming warmer year by year. It is getting heated up. They are saying in the last 2 centuries, if you take the planet's temperature average, it has gone up by 1.1 degree Celsius. 1.1 degree more. The whole planet temperatures have gone up to that level. So when the planet is getting heated up, there are some effects that they are observing. One is this ocean, water color has changed. One more is they are seeing unusual wildfires and unusual flooding in many places. The wildfire we have seen recently in Hawaii and many other places, and then unusual flooding. The rains were so nasty that they never saw the flooding like that. For example, in the Hyderabad city, the way it rained in the last for 2-3 years, the city never witnessed. In fact, the city was not designed to handle such waters. Obviously, they always design with a certain calculation in mind, and when you get more than that, you will not be able to manage. For example, now Janmashtami. Now we put up all the arrangements with some calculations in mind. We think, okay, maximum some 25,000, some 30,000 people will come. You put some queue systems, everything is on that base. But let us say suddenly you will get 1 lakh. Everywhere you will see there is systems crumbling. So that's what the scientists are observing, that unusual rise in this temperature is actually a very big rise. And one more effect they are seeing is the glaciers which are there on the poles. There are ice, big blocks of ice. They are called glaciers. They are melting down. The temperature is increasing, so they are all melting down. When they melt down, oceans will increase, because the glaciers are all the melted water. Where will that go? It will come into the oceans, and oceans are increasing. They're saying by 2050, Mumbai may get submerged into the ocean water, a large portion of Mumbai by 2050, if the rate continues like this. All the coastal regions will be under great trouble. So there are alarm bells everywhere. Temperature is going up, and then all these symptoms they are seeing. What are the causes for this temperature? Is it the fire from Ananta? Ananta's fire from the mouth? Like Maharloka got heated up. Of course, Bhrigu and all, they're very smart. They're very intelligent. They understood that it is actually the time of devastation, and so they decided to go to Janaloka. After COVID, we also see here the endeavors to go to other planets have increased. Radha Govinda. The space travels, travel to moon, travel to Mars. There's a lot of interest now. They know that this world is been messed up, and it looks like very difficult to recover. Everybody is trying for other planets. So, some 2 years back, I think, they have created one word that is called polycrisis. Polycrisis means when many crises, they come together, many challenges, they come together, they just named it polycrisis, but they really don't know what to do. And they're all worried, if all these crises comes together, how do we manage? Climate change is one, and the loss of biodiversity. That means what? People are eating up all the varieties on the planet. There are some species which are extinct now. They are not available. The certain species are extinct on the planet. Now this is one more danger there. So, what are the causes for this climate change that we are experiencing now? Now also planet is heating up. Can we happily blame it on Ananta? No, this is not the time for any of the partial devastation or full devastation. The cause is explained by Bhagavad Gita. It says, Karya Karana Katrutve Hetu Prakrutiruchyate Purushaha Sukha-dukkhanam Bhoktrutve Heturuchyate. So it is saying, nature is said to be the cause of all the material activities and effects. Climate change is an effect. And there are many material activities that are going on, industrialization, this and that. Many things are facilitated by nature. And the effects are all we can see. This climate change and this and that. Whereas, the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. Nature is not responsible for our enjoyment or our suffering. Not responsible in the sense it is created by the living entity. Our Sukha-dukkhanam bhoktrutve, we enjoy or suffer, hetu, the cause is living entity. If we are suffering, that is because of us only. Nature has created an effect, but in reaction to what we have done. Now this is not only Bhagavad Gita, even the current scientists, they are saying human activity has to be controlled. Otherwise, climate change will destroy this planet. Now what is this human activity? They are trying to analyze what is causing this planet to heat up. They are able to see there is some link is there. One is this fossil fuels like petrol and diesel. The taking out petrol, taking out diesel from the earth and then burning it off. That burning thing is creating some gases. emissions, carbon emissions, and they're all settling in the atmosphere and heating up the planet. Now this is one cause. If you see the GDP, how we measure our progress, they see how many cars are sold in a month. And if the number of cars are sold very high, they say, yes, we have progressed. But that many cars are consuming petrol or diesel or whatever, and that is creating some other effect called climate change, crisis. So that is one. Second one that they are saying is very, very, the biggest cause is these slaughterhouses. The meat eating industry is contributing to this emissions and so many other pollutions of the environment, and so they are requesting to exercise control, to be restrained on meat. And third point they are saying is, don't purchase too many things, too many gadgets, because to produce all that there are industries, and industries are consuming huge volumes of all this petrol, diesel, and then so many mining, and a lot of. So scientists are also they are recommending. They have almost come to Krishna conscious conclusion. They are saying simple life. Don't accumulate too many things. Simple life, be simple. But they don't know the other half. Nobody can be simple like that. And particularly you have put a parameter of progress. What is that? GDP. Quarter on quarter you have to post an increase in GDP, otherwise governments will fall, otherwise people will criticize. And then, but GDP doesn't measure the mess that is creating in terms of the climate change and environmental damage. Now this is the poly crisis. Many factors are creating. So it is nothing new. Bhagavad Gita explains this phenomena. Karya karana katrutve hetu prakriti. Yes, prakriti is producing this effect. But because of the living entities' activity. Unless the living entities, they change their activities and restrain themselves from these, whatever productivity or this GDP or whatever they are saying, if they don't control these activities, the planet will continue to heat up. Now here we have seen, when the partial devastation time, we have seen, first is heating up of the planet. Then comes heavy flooding and rains. This planet also will go through this cycle. Because of our own created heat, you will see there will be flooding on one side and there will be drought, no rain at all on the other side. You will see both. When the heat goes up, it creates tornadoes, powerful hurricanes. They come descending with massive force and destroying many cities and whatever development that we have done. And then crops will collapse. Heavy flooding or no rain, both will impact the crop. And then there will be hunger, famine. So many things are lined up for the planet Earth. Now who lined up? Prakriti hetu. It is the effects are ready. Why is Prakriti so cruel on us? Prakriti is not cruel. You wanted all this. In the name of enjoyment, sukha dukkhanam hetave, in the name of enjoyment, you wanted all this. You wanted more GDP, you wanted more of production, fine. But this is the result. See, you wanted 1 million cars to be produced in a day, fine. Take it. 1 million cars, you take it. But what is the result? That also you have to take it. People's mind is, no, we will take only what is nice. And we blame it on everybody else for the ill effects that we are facing. No, it will not work like that. Krishna, he explains in the 17th chapter, 17th or 18th, I forgot. If we don't calculate the consequences before we act, we don't calculate the consequences, then that is called tamoguna, mode of ignorance. So now you can see people, they are doing so many activities, but they are not calculating what are the consequences. Now worst, they are seeing the consequences, but still they are not able to change. Now you can imagine how. That's why Prabhupada always used to say, the population is in the modes of passion and ignorance. Everybody is achannaha. We are hearing that song. When he is about to land in America, Prabhupada is praying. Everybody is covered by tamo, rajas, tamoguna and rajoguna. And then he is saying, my Lord, how will they understand Vasudeva Katha? How will they understand your message when their minds are covered by these lower gunas? How can they? So, consequences are clear and they are only increasing, but still they are not. Actually, they will not be able to change. They will not be able to change. The only solution is, like Prabhupada has given, not only simple life, which is not possible. It should be simple life and high thinking. The thinking has to change. And what is that thinking? The thinking is, let us understand what are the laws that are governing this world. Laws means there must be a lawmaker. So let us understand whether, who is the lawmaker, creator of this world. And let us understand what laws he has made, in what view he has designed this. And then we'll try to follow all those rules and regulations. Because the way we are trying to do some activities, it is creating consequences, negative consequences. So let me now understand that there must be some system here. What is that system? And let me cooperate with that system. This is what the scientists have to think. If there is an existing system and you go and put your hand, immediately reactions will come. Let us say we have put the queue lines like this. Again, Janmashtami, queue lines are like this. People are supposed to come here. Let us say somebody comes from suddenly somewhere like this. What will happen? Security, everybody will go and say, hey, don't come like that, go, come like that. Let us say he is not hearing, then they will push him. Go away. Let us say he is not hearing, even creating big trouble, then we may have to call police. They'll come and pressurize him to follow. That's the pressure now the world is experiencing. The police, department of Prakriti, Prakriti also has a police. That is putting pressure. Some heat here, some problems here, many things are coming up. There will be increased pressure on the mankind. Either they submit to the laws or the system that Krishna has created. So that message, when it is told by Srila Prabhupada, that yes, you all have to surrender to Krishna, and Krishna is saying, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Now you can see, people have to come to that conclusion. Now their conclusion is, okay, all these things are changing. What is the solution? They're trying to find. From fossil fuels, they want to come to green. They are doing enormous digging and mining of so many new elements. They are trying to go on discovering many elements in order to make these panels, solar panels, this panel, that panel, and to produce that so-called green energy. Now what that will create, what consequences, that nobody knows. They will just say polycrisis. He is awaiting all of you. You take care of yourself. So there is one more angle to it. When the heat goes up, for example, summer, we'll all fall sick. Isn't it? Everybody falls sick. Now when the planet is increasing, and the temperature is increasing, the health also will deteriorate. Everybody will suffer from heat-related diseases. And if the heat disturbs the stomach disturbs the brain. Brain is a second stomach, or rather, stomach is a second brain. These two are connected. Gut and brain are connected. And if the stomach is disturbed, the pitta, the fire, is disturbed in the stomach, it disturbs the mind, it disturbs the brain. So who knows? The psychological issues of the society will continue to increase. Compared to last decade, if you look at the mental cases, psychological cases, or psychiatric cases, phenomenally more. People are agitated in their minds. Very difficult to, they are not able to understand how to control. So health sector is gearing up. They are trying to produce more hospitals and treat the patients. Everywhere they are trying to find solutions, but they are not coming to the real solution. The real solution is surrender to Krishna, Krishna's system that he has created. Here Bhrigu, an intelligent sage, so he knows that the only solution to all the problems is stuyamana. Stuyamano janalai. After reaching the Janaloka, he is offering his prayers to Krishna, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, with folded hands. My Lord, we surrender to you, we surrender to your system. And then, because somebody may ask this question, the whole thing is in such a turmoil, how is it that the Lord is peacefully sleeping? The whole world the whole universe is in a big mess. Why is it that the Lord is happily Yoga-Nidra, Nimilaksha? He is taking rest. What is this? Actually, Krishna is eagerly waiting. He wants to help. He is ready to come and help. And he is saying, take my help. And he is telling, Sarvadharman, he is sending his messengers, surrender. But we'll say no. We have our own plans. If petrol fails, we'll go for methanol. If that fails, we'll go for ethanol. Or whatever, nal. They'll go on. But we will not surrender to God. So God says, okay. Krishna has given free will. He says, okay. And he has created a neutral system called Prakriti. And then the Prakriti will handle whatever you want to. You take it and then it will handle. That's why Lord is eagerly waiting. When are these living entities comes back to me, he is waiting eagerly. So, the necessity of the world is strongly to spread this Krishna consciousness. Devotees have to, uh, uh, now we have to gear up more and more, cooperate with ourselves, within ourselves. Each and every devotee, they should preach. Very simple. Surrender to Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You surrender to Him and read Bhagavad Gita. Then automatically all your issues will come down. For example, if somebody becomes a devotee, you see how many changes. He will not eat meat, and he will not do many other things. He will try to follow the rules and regulations of this nature of Krishna, and he tries to keep his life simple. Everything falls in place. So instead of handling one symptom, a wholesale solution has been given. We cannot address these symptoms. Even scientists are saying it's a polycrisis. We don't know how it is going to behave. Our solution is very simple. Address the root cause. If we can make somebody surrender to Krishna and follow these principles, that much damage to the planet is also automatically reduced. So this is the most munificent and welfare activity for the world, even now or in the future. We'll stop here. Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.